Hello and welcome to another episode of the Words Review. Today I'm going to talk about is perfumes. It is something which has baffled me so much, and I have scoured the internet and I'm not finding enough information. And the next episode is going to be more interesting because a friend of mine is going to come on this platform and explain everything because she's been in the fragrance and the perfume industry for nearly 20 years now. So let me just deep dive a little bit. This is something which we use every day, and I'm a big fan of fragrances. And I have at least four fragrances which I use on day-to-day basis with my moods and where I travel, in which season I use them. But we don't know anything about them. We just know the brands. We are in the umbrella approach of these brands, that how these brands have given a personification of those things into a perfume version and into a fragrance. So let's deep dive into this and understand what it is. Perfumes. We think it's just a bottle or a scent, a memory. But behind every fragrance you spray is a whole architecture of how it's made. Who funds it? Who controls it? And how does it reach you? Today, I'm opening a door to most people never even realize exist, the real categories of perfume houses. Because in luxury, just like in life, it's not only what you wear, it's who's behind it. So the first category which I'm going to explain is the vertically integrated houses. These are the aristocrats of perfumes, the houses who own their own lands, ingredients, distilleries. Chanel, for example, they own their own jasmine fields in Grasse, France, ensuring that number 5 smells the same even today, like it was a centuries ago. Guerlain, Métier Premier, these control their own process from end to end. It's not just a fragrance, it's heritage in liquid form. The price you pay is not just for the bottles. It's a guarantee that every step has been curated like a piece of art. This is fully owned section is vertically integrated. The second is the investors or the entrepreneur-led outsourced productions. Now let's shift gears. Some perfume houses are not owning their farms and distilleries, but they are about owning ideas. Investors, entrepreneurs fund these brands, and the external labs produce their juice. Parfum de Marly, Memo Paris, Mind Games, Seven Virtues. What you're buying is a marketing genius. These perfumes are built like startups, vision first and chemistry outsourced. They tell you a story of lifestyle, aspirations, brand positioning. But the actual liquid inside, it often comes from some mega lab making multiple brands together. It's not always artisanal, but sometimes it's entrepreneurial. It doesn't have the same love and feel unless you know about it. The third one is perfumer led, but outsourced. We have a lot of noses in the industry. This is an artist's playground. A perfume is led by a perfumer's vision. Oliver Cresp is for Acro, Sonia Constant for Ella K, Isaac Sinclair with Abel. Here, the nose is the star. The perfumer dreams up a story, and the accords, the emotions, and the external lab manufactures it. These houses prove that the artistry can live outside a massive heritage structures. You're wearing the identity of a perfumer and not a conglomerate. The fourth one is a designer mass market perfumes. There is no transparency in that. Now, this can be picked up at duty frees, supported by glamorous ads. Perfume here is a brand extension, a money-making arm of fashion empire. Yves Saint Laurent, Gucci, Prada, Valentino. You see them in airports, malls, duty frees. They smell good, they look good, they look luxurious, but the production outsourced. Ingredients common, synthetic, mass produced. The transparency almost none. The brand name, yes, that's what you're paying for. It isn't about rarity or accessibility. It's a way for millions to own a piece of Gucci or Prada without buying the bag. What's really important is the perfumes which transport you to the brand itself. The fifth one, very unique, artisanal, which is for small batches. And this is often called the indie perfumes or the niche indie perfumes. These are my personal favorites, the rebels. Indie houses like Zoologist, Hiram Green, Scent Control by LKV. Small but often family run, transparent about every single ingredient. They don't hide behind marketing gloss. They themselves say it, what's inside. This is how we made it. They show the whole process, the story. The storytelling is where this all comes from. It's not for everyone because it's not tested. It's for everyone to show what moods and it doesn't associate to anything else. but it's very authentic. It is the new authenticity, which is the ultimate luxury. And the sixth one, the conglomerate owned niche. Now, these are the ones which started as niche, became successful, and then they got owned by conglomerates. And many more of these, which are right now in the market, they are now initially started as very small indie perfumes, but finally became huge after being taken over by conglomerates. Does that mean the soul is gone? Well, some say yes, but the formulas are diluted, the exclusivity is lost. Others argue no. The global backing gives them stability, the reach, and the expansion to reach everywhere in every part of the world. But one thing is certain. Once a brand scales, it stops being a secret. Well, this is a double-edged sword. When it becomes a luxury, it can be accessible and can be inaccessible also. So it depends on where you place it. Well, these are our top six, or the six categories which I feel we should know about it, because perfumes is not just something which you try on and you pick it up from any of the stores. So next time when you pick up your favorite fragrance, remember, you're not just buying a smell or an emotion. You're buying a whole system, a story, a structure of people, manpower, heritage, marketing. Is your perfume a legacy built in the fields of grass, or a marketer's dream bottled in a lab, or a perfumer's soul poured into a liquid, or a corporate darling with a cult status? That's the hidden word of perfume. And that's why the real luxury isn't always in the bottle. It's in the truth behind, their worth revealed. So this is something which I had to share with my audiences, because being an avid perfume fanatic, everywhere I go, be it duty free, or be it in a small shop in Paris, or be it in Italy, or be it in Grasse, I've been everywhere, to the smallest of the perfumeries to the biggest of the conglomerate shops. And that's why to know your perfume is very important, because it lives with you and it transports you to different places, right from the first time you experience something, or you ate your first sweet, or you had your first embrace, or the falling rain, and then an emotion that comes to you and that lives by. And that's when you transport yourself to that, I think, era, time, a moment. And that's where I think perfume lives. And that's why it is something just so small. And it is so uh, huge in impact. So every industry has invisible empires. Tech has Google, Amazon, Apple. Fashion has LVMH, Carey, Richemont. Fragrances, it has its big four: Chiveton, Femrich, IFF, and Symrise. These four giants don't sell you perfumes directly. They don't put their names on the bottles. But every time you spray a fragrance, chances are you're smelling their molecules, their formulas, their chemistry, and their artistry. Let's them meet one by one. Chiveton. This is the blockbuster machine. Founded in 1895 in Switzerland, this is one of the oldest and the largest fragrance makers in the world. If you want like $1 billion hit, you come here. It's a production machine. Dior Sauvage, Tom Ford Black Orchid, Piredo Gypsy Waters, and they all are made by noses from this company. Prada Candy, and this is a machine. It's massive. It's huge. It's like you have studios in Hollywood making. They have farms and farms, and they have a huge logistics and labs. They are pioneers in captive molecules, secret ingredients brands cannot buy. Huge resources, high research budgets, heavy on synthetic innovation. Perfume stars noses are Daniela Andier, Alberto Morelos, and Jerome Epinette. Efficient, high volume, commercial. Givaudan is like the Universal Studios, the blockbuster are theirs. Sauvage alone sells $4 billion. When you think of a modern masculinity, you're smelling Givaudan. Firmenich, innovator. Founded in 1895. So then, coincidentally, the same year as Givaudan, but the scientist's house. Obsessed with molecules and groundbreaking synthetics. Calvin Klein 1, Quadigio, Yves Saint Laurent Black Opium, all of these beautiful, beautiful fragrances. The Initio Oud for greatness, everything which they do comes with a backing. The molecule innovations which they've done is Hedi 1, which is a luminous jasmine molecule, gave Eau de Sauvage's airy magic. It's one of the top two of the world in terms like fragrances. It would be a Tesla, the innovator. They just don't follow trends, they invent them. The IFF, which is the American powerhouse, founded in 1889, New York. Bold, commercial, American-style marketing muscle. Le Labo Santal 33, Paco Rabanne, 1 million, Yves Saint Laurent Opium Original, Calvin Klein Euphoria. These are some of the examples of what this company does. They're everywhere around the world. They're master collaborators and master brand marketing, known for the blockbuster masculine fragrances like 1 million and Invictus. Perfume stars are Dominique Ropion, Carlos Benam, and Frank Voigel. Highly commercial, efficient over artistry. The IFF is the Madison Avenue of fragrances. They understand mass appeal. IFF's engineering is a seduction for nightclubs worldwide. Symrise is the challenger. 2003, fairly new kid on the block, and is being fueled by a lot of mergers and investors based in Germany. It's the underdog, the sustainability leader of the top four. Younger, more transparent, more sustainably and eco-driven. Jo Malone, Lime Basil and Mandarin, which is again their fragrance. Lalique, Encre Noire, their fragrance zoologist packed, and Hugo Boss bottled. This one is again has a balance between innovation and sustainability. A big focus on renewable and sustainable ingredients. Strong in natural, clean, and biotech. Perfume stars are Annick Minardo, Emily Copperman, and Natalie Lawson. Marketed as clean, sustainable, and pretty much the new Gen X, Y, and Z are okay with that, and they love this one. Simrise is the indie kid on the new kid on the block, which is growing into a global player. They're not massive like Givaudan or Firmenich, but they carved a niche with sustainability and naturals. Think of them as a Patagonia of perfumes. So here's the story. Givaudan gives you blockbusters, Firmenich gives you the molecules, IFF gives you the commercial mass appeal, and Simrise gives you sustainability edge. So these are the invisible giants, the paint makers, and of so-called luxury brands. And they're just not painters signing the canvas with their logos. Next time you pick up a bottle of perfume and ask yourself, do I love Chanel? I think I wanted to do this episode and the worth revealed. Before we get into the one which I'm going to introduce next week is a perfumer and a fragrance expert. So thank you for listening to me. And if you like this, then please share with all your friends and family and subscribe and help us build this platform so our stories can reach to every person who loves this. Thank you so much.